What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Milk Podcast. This is episode 132. 132. Matt's Batman. That's Matt. He's
That's
being
very suiting for what I watched this week.
Batman. I'm Ryan.
I'm Batman.
That's all we got. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's almost Halloween, so happy Halloween, everybody. My favorite holiday of the year.
But we didn't dress up. What were we thinking?
Yeah, well, we almost didn't have an episode tonight
That's true.
because it's raining
I have
like mad
technical
here, and
difficulties.
Matt's having technical issues. So if Matt just disappears randomly,
I shouldn't disappear. I think I solved the issue, like why it wasn't working at all. So I think we're good.
perfect. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I like you.
How are you, my friend?
Okay, I'm tired and yeah, I'm tired. But I'm like home now, so that's good. Kate's still in Toronto, so I have the dog with me.
Home to yourself? Oh, he's sleeping away.
He's just sleeping because he should be in bed right now because he would be in bed for like an hour by now.
It's funny how grouchy they get when they don't get to bed.
Oh man!
Like my dog, if it's like past 9 a.m., he starts looking at the door like, "What are we doing here? Like, what is going on here? Why are we not in bed? What's happening?"
because he's used to your schedule. Yeah, true.
He goes to bed at 9 a.m. with me, and like if I'm up at like 10 a.m., he's like, hello, like what's happening?
Homer stands by the bedroom door, and then
that's what he does.
We get up, he like runs and like is like, come on.
Like, aren't we going here? Come on.
Yeah. So, but like, this room is good. Like, I mean, I don't love it, but like for when Kate's not home, it's good because like if I'm going to work, I can work here like all night, and as long as he's in a bed, he's okay. He doesn't care. Like,
he's not particular.
I'm sure he'd rather be in that bed, but like, but yeah. So it's pretty. It's not that bad. So
dogs are cray.
Do you hear that clicking sound? Oh, you didn't hear any of those clicking sounds, did you?
No.
Okay, good. I think I know why it happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. So.
It's my computer was doing an update and it made like a clicking.
We're professionals here, if you didn't know.
We're really professional. We're doing really good, and
we professionally just suck and professionally act like a bunch of jackasses on the podcast. That's what we do.
That's funny. Yeah. So, and then this week I also went to, well, obviously Toronto, as I was saying earlier, and we went to Pembroke as well, which is Ottawa, like in Ottawa. So
fancy.
We went to scatter Kate's grandma's ashes. So Kate's grandma died earlier in the year. That's whose house we moved into. So, but yeah, we had her ashes, and we wanted to bury them with her parents, which is in Pembroke. And then we took some and also like scattered them on the farm that she grew up on. So, but it was really funny because like we went to the farm, and like last time Kate's family went there to like check out the farm was when grandma was alive. So like grandma was with them and like remembered everything, and they drove. So this time, because she wasn't alive, so Karen, Kate's mom, has like kept up with the guy who owns the farm, and he basically said like, she asked if we can scatter the ashes, and he's like, as long as you don't tell me where you do it, I don't care. He's like, I don't want to be creeped out by having ashes. But he's like, I don't. But he's like, you're welcome to. And he's like, I probably won't be home when you come because I'm only there for like 2 months of the year. So like if you come and I'm not there, just come in. Like you can open the gate and just come in and whatever, right? You can walk around the property. So anyway, so we get there, and there's like literally like 200 cows in this field. So basically he bought all this land, and like he fills it with cows who like take care, like, you know, they basically just make hay. They have like so much space, like so many fields, and it's just like they just use it to like make hay and like feed cows and get them fat, and then he sells the cows and whatever. But there was like 200 cows, and we're in like, we went with Kate's uncle, who's like, you know, pretty well off. And like, you know, the whole time we were traveling in 2 black like Yukons, like tinted out, like all black. Like we look like the like you know, FBI or some shit.
Yeah.
And like, so the guy that at the house, he happened to be there when we got there, and he was like, "Oh, have you ever been up on the ridge? So like it's kind of like surrounded by like rolling hills, and then the farm is in the middle. And Kate's family was like, no. And he's like, oh, you can drive right up the hills. Like they're all like properly worked. Like you don't have to worry about hitting like tree stumps and shit. Like they're all clear. So he's like, if you want, I'll take the tractor up and you can just follow me. So imagine this. It's like a tractor with a guy and then two fucking like blacked out window, like CIA band, like fucking cruising up a mountain amongst cows, like a sea of cows. Like we're driving and they're like running out of the way. Like, and it was like,
That's so weird.
It was so fucking funny. And then we got to the highest point in like that. I think it was like the highest point in like a 70-mile-kilometer or 70-mile distance or something.
Like radius.
So like you could see like everywhere, right? It was really cool.
No, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And we flew on a private jet, which was also. We flew there and back, and we flew to Pembroke on a private jet. It was fucking amazing. That's how you travel, by the way.
Oh,
that's how you,
1000%. Like
that's how you do it.
If I could, that's the only way I travel. Obviously,
no security, no nothing. You just drive up to the plane, get in. It takes off. If you're supposed to leave at 8:15, you're off the ground at 8:15.
Yeah.
You don't wait for anything.
The best flight experience I ever had was leaving out of Windsor to Toronto to then fly out to you, because the plane I took out of Windsor was like
empty,
30 people on the plane. Mm-hmm. It was a small little plane, and there was like almost nobody on it. So it left on time. There was like barely any wait time to get on the thing. Like it was perfect. So like a private plane would be even better. Like, yeah, I wish. I mean, when Moose Milk Podcast episode 4632 comes out and we're like millionaires, we'll fly everywhere on private jets.
Yep, it's true.
That's only about 35 years from now. So
yeah, we got some waiting. It's okay though.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, honestly, I was just like, I never understood it. And then once I did, I was like, oh, that's why they do it. I guess because it's like when money becomes not an issue anymore, it's like, okay, what's a thing that money can't buy?
Right.
It's like time, right?
100%.
So it's like, you know, like our travel time was, 4 hours or whatever. And like, that's what it was. I didn't have to go 2 hours before. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes in security. I didn't have to go through 30 minutes and fucking like, I mean, I didn't go out of country, but like in customs, like I didn't have to wait 30 minutes to get my bag. Like it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I wish. I mean, it
was amazing.
That sounds wonderful, and it sounds like a beautiful, time with your family. And obviously, I wish them all the best, because losing somebody like that sucks. But at least you got to do that together, and
it was good.
Great. Yeah,
it was good. Great. We had a good day, and it wasn't really that sad, so it was good. Like I was a little worried it might be overwhelming for Kate, but
yeah, grief's hard, man. Grief is hard.
Mm-hmm.
You never know how
she did. I know she probably wanted to grieve more than she probably could have, just because I think she wanted to be like strong for her mom and shit. But
yeah, that's a tough part. Is you got to be there for your family, and it's hard to do that when you're bawling your eyes out. And
yeah,
it's all hard.
It's like a charming little place. Like the priest who like came out to like say the prayer and shit as we buried the urn or whatever. Me and Matt, Kate's brother, were like sitting in this hallway by ourselves, right? And he just kind of like walks out and like looks. He kind of looked like Mitch McConnell, like from the. So, look, we get bonuses from here. And then like he kind of just like when he came out of the door and he saw me and Matt, he looked at us like we were like weird. He was just like, it's like he just got caught and he was in his regular clothes and he's like, it's my day off today, and I was just like. I wasn't asking any questions. I wasn't like.
Yeah. You are a human. I mean, I don't know. You're allowed to have a day off. I don't know what you guys. What do you do as like a high like priest, like on your day off? Like
I know.
I don't know. It sounds like
smoke a whole bunch of weed.
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine? That sounds like a great movie.
Lifted with Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Get high.
What up, Southtown? How's it going?
Yeah, Joe Rogan actually has been in my inbox asking how we get so many viewers for this thing. As you can see, an unrecognized mana before you asked if we needed more followers and views and chatbots, and I declined because we're too popular. Chatbots couldn't keep up.
It's true. The chatbots don't even understand how fucking awesome we are.
No, exactly. But welcome, Southtown. Appreciate
you.
Yeah,
man. What's up? You said love that last episode of Loki. We'll be getting into that shortly.
Yeah, we'll get into Loki. We'll get into Gen V. I watched an insane amount of shit. So,
well, let me spit out my few things that I did.
Well, first, I want to ask you, did you listen to those 2 new Blink tracks?
Oh shit, I still haven't. Fuck, see, that's the problem when I'm not home. I don't have time. Yeah, how is it? No?
I like the first one a lot. I don't like the second one, but
the second one I heard sounds kind of like Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really appeal to me.
I didn't like it, but the first one I think is really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I need to find them. I was
They're on Spotify now.
Album. Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They added them to the album, and you just have to. Well, it's like a different album, like within the album.
I see.
They just like re-added it or whatever, so now it's like 19 songs instead of 17 or whatever. But
gotcha.
Yeah, it's available on and Taking Back Sunday. I don't know if you listened to it, but
I
dig it.
Don't plan on it, so
you should. It's really good.
Nice.
It's really good.
I most likely won't, to be honest. I haven't
just give it a spin, man.
I haven't listened to Taking Back Sunday since like Louder now, probably.
It's very good. It's like old Taking Back Sunday.
Interesting. Okay, I'll give it a spin. I'll see.
I like it a lot. It's really good. I've had 4 or 5 songs on it stuck in my head since Friday.
I need to remember to go back to Metric too, because I did listen to Metric a couple times and I liked it. But then once Blink came out, it's just completely taken over everything my whole life. So,
but I think I don't think there's anything for the rest of the year that I can think of that's coming out music wise that I'm like appealing to. So now I'm just
you have room.
Now I'm just going to be going over all the albums that came out this year to figure out what the fuck I liked and what I didn't, what has holding power and what doesn't.
Nice,
so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But anyway, go get into what you were up to this week.
This week, the only things I watched a few more episodes of Always Sunny. I wanted to watch The Gang Turns Black, or is that what it's called? But yeah, that episode.
Yeah, Gang Turns Black.
Yeah, so I watched that one, and a couple other ones. And then last night, I decided when I got home, I was like, I'm gonna rewatch Loki because like I kind of fell asleep near the end and I missed a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I need to rewatch it. So I rewatched that, and then afterwards I was like, I just got a new Blu-ray player because mine fucking crapped out after like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm gonna watch Batman '89 because like I don't think I've watched Batman '89 for like seriously like 30 years or like I don't know how I mean it's '89, so it's been a long time. Like since I was a kid, I haven't like so much so that like I don't remember the storyline. Like
wow, that's crazy.
So it was almost like watching the movie. Like there were things that when I watched it I remembered, but like the actual storyline, like I didn't remember. So I got to like kind of watch it again.
And what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean it's good. I don't think it's as good as I mean I think I like Michael Keaton's Batman.
So do I.
But like as I like him as Bruce and I like him as Batman, but the actual like Batman stuff I find is like super limiting. Like
well, you know, like it was partly because of the costume.
I know why. I understand why. But it's just like when I think about that and I'm just like, man, it makes Batman Begins and Dark Knight like so much better because like how he moves in that suit, it's just like it's so good, you know?
See, the problem for me too, I mean, we're going to get into a deep Batman discussion right now because I love Batman. Is like I love Michael Keaton as Batman, and like if you were to ask me who my favorite Batman is, I'd probably say Christian Bale just because of those movies are so much, in my opinion, so fucking good.
Yeah.
But like I love '89 Batman, but you're right, like the Batman aspect of it is like very lacking and it's very like
there's no
very
real
80s.
Fight. It's just like
yeah, like it's very like that 60s like show Batman, like pow, but like without the pow, like it's
like darker.
Yeah. But I love like the style of Gotham in that movie. Like it looks really like dark and like gothic and like it looks really cool. I love Joker in that movie. Like I think
me too.
I think it's really like
I can actually see as I was watching it, like I think didn't Heath Ledger say that he kind of based his Joker a little bit like certain things off of Jack Nicholson? Because there's things where he does with the tongue that Jack Nicholson does that I noticed, and I was like, oh, that's very familiar.
I think like there's definitely elements he took from it, but like I think it's just like a different kind of Joker that's creepy, like just because of like I don't know, the silliness of it in a way makes it even creepier because he's just like out of his mind a little bit in that movie, and like the chemicals and like, you know, melting his girlfriend to give her that face and like all that shit. Like it's so over the top, but it ends up being creepy because he's just like batshit. Where like Heath Ledger's is like creepy in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Heath Ledger is creepy and like
psychopathic. Yeah.
Like, but there are elements of that with Jack Nicholson too. Like that part where he's like, I wished you were dead or whatever, and then he's just like you like hear him just like walking out of the room, just keep saying it and like laughing, and I'm just like, fuck man, that's creepy as hell.
It's so 80s at points in that movie too, like the whole like when they're in the art gallery and the Prince montage or whatever the fuck it is, the song is playing and he's like spray painting the pictures.
Also,
and shit.
I didn't know that Prince did all the music for that movie either. Like I had no fucking clue of that.
Prince did the soundtrack and what's the fuck? What's his face did the like orchestral?
John Williams?
No, the guy that always works with Tim Burton.
I don't know.
I can't think of it right now, but yeah, I love that movie. I mean, Batman Returns, like everybody seems to really love that movie.
For me is my memory of Michael Keaton Batman mostly is Batman Returns, so I'm going to most likely watch Batman Returns over the next few days.
I don't think it holds up as well, like as people like.
I hope it does because I have this thought in my head, and that's like, but it could just be because I like those villains. Like I'm not a huge Joker fan, whereas like I am a big Catwoman fan. So
that's the best part of that movie, in my opinion. It's like Michelle Pfeiffer in skin tight leather. It's like, I'll watch that all day.
I also love Danny DeVito Penguin too. I think that's great.
Penguin's such a weird character. Like they took
Danny DeVito's version is good. It's like imagine if Frank was like a fucking. It's like even that like little one piece thing that he wears at the end. I could just see Frank wearing something like that.
Danny Elfman. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I love Batman '89. I'm less high on Batman Returns, and then like I love Batman Forever, but like
I'm not gonna watch Forever or the other one.
I love Forever just because I love Jim Carrey as Riddler, and like that's what makes that movie for me is like Jim Carrey. Without that Jim Carrey in that movie would be absolute dog shit. But
my guess is I'm gonna watch Batman Returns, and then after that, I'm gonna want to watch Batman Begins. So I probably am gonna.
You just made me want to go watch Batman Begins in Dark Knight again. So
I fucking love Batman. I'll probably watch those two, and then probably watch Pattinson Batman.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, you got me in Batman mood. That's bad. Speaking of,
I just couldn't believe I hadn't seen it in so long.
Yeah, no, that blows my mind. I've probably seen that movie literally like 100, 200 times. Like there was like a 5-year span probably when I was like 9, 10 years old that I watched that movie like daily to weekly, like for like 2 or 3 years. Like I would just go through Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, rotate. Well, whatever 3 or 4 were out at that time. I don't know. I might have been like 12, who knows? But I would just rotate through them. It just all week, just rotate through them. So like I know those movies like off by heart almost. Like it's shocking. It's scary.
Nice.
Speaking of superheroes, I know you got maybe more shit to talk about, but
that's all I had.
Okay, well, great then. This is a great transition to go to Spider-Man PS5.
Oh yeah.
So I played. I didn't stream it. I just wasn't in the mood. I was on vacation. I just didn't feel like working and on vacation. I don't know. I've been in a weird mood all week where I just really didn't feel like doing a whole lot. So I just basically sat on the couch and vegged for 7 days.
Nice.
But yeah, Spider-Man 2 on PS5 is fucking excellent. Excellent.
Nice. I've been hearing good things.
If you are a Spider-Man fan, this is a must-play video game. It's easily my favorite PS5 game so far. I beat it. I 100%ed the game. I got the platinum trophy for it. I did everything you can do in the game. It took me just under 30 hours. It was like 29 and change.
Nice. I heard there's like some kind of like after credit scene or something that sets up the next game or something.
There's some after credit stuff. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's only been out for a week. But I'm just going to say like the stuff that you've seen from the previews is all in the game, and like the fact that like it has a massive Venom storyline and a really cool Kraven storyline is really awesome. I love symbiote suit Peter, and like I love Venom. I've always been a huge fan of Venom since I was a little kid. So, probably stemming from like the '90s cartoon slash the video games on Sega Genesis, fucking Maximum Carnage. Yeah,
that's where my love for Venom mostly came from.
Yeah, I loved Maximum Carnage, and then Separation Anxiety. I played a lot too.
Nice.
Both Genesis games. So yeah, I can't recommend that game enough. It's beautiful. It's so fun to play. They like just the powers and shit you get. Switching between Peter and Miles Morales is awesome.
Nice.
I love it. They all have a different power set. They have different storylines. Like Mary Jane's in the story as well, and like
oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
It's really well made, and like it's definitely like the most next gen game I've played, where like there's no load times. Like when you fast travel between like parts of the city and stuff, it's instantaneous. Like you just cruise in. They added like a web suit on your suit so that like you can fly, basically like you sail through the levels. So you start swinging, and then you take out your websuit, and then you can just like fly basically around buildings and shit like that. And it's makes like traversal through the city and fast traveling around to different places in the city like so much faster. Nice. It's so fun to just sail around and swing around and do tricks in the sky, and like it's great. So I can't recommend it enough. And if you're a big Spider-Man fan like me, you're gonna fucking love this game. It's everything you want it to be. I can't wait for what they do with the sequel, which is definitely they set up a sequel, and they're doing Wolverine next, which I can't wait for.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, Matthew Toy, the other Matthew. He pretty much wrote on his Instagram. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna stop doing all toy shit for now and just do Spider-Man video game photography, because he's, you know, you can like take pictures and shit. Man, you should see some of the reels and shit he makes. I'll tag you in one next time he does a cool one. But like,
I've seen some of his posts. Yeah,
they're fucking nuts, man. They're so good, and I'm just like, damn, that's super creative, and like, what a cool idea to make content out of that. Like,
totally. It's such a fun game, man. Like, just the things you can do in like the photo mode in the game is just excellent, and you can set up shots, and like it's so fun to like sneak around bases and just like be stealth and just like web down, take a guy, web him up, grab another guy, web him up. Like I basically human centipeded like 12 guys on top of each other in a web. It was awesome. It just looked ridiculous because you just see like legs and heads and like all sticking out, just a pile of guys on top of each other. I'm like, yeah, this is great.
That's amazing.
It's very like, for people that played Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, the Batman games from like 2008 or 9 or whatever. It's very similar to that in style, but just like very this generation. Like it's very now present day. So it just takes it all up a notch, and it's great. It's great. So if you're a Batman fan or a fucking Spider-Man fan, like you'll love this game. So
nice. Yeah, I've been reading lots of good stuff on it. So
yeah,
that's wonderful.
These are the days I wish you had a PS5 just so you could play stuff like this, because I'm like, fuck, Matt would love this. This is so fun.
I would probably love that. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I watched, I think, 8 movies this week.
Jesus Christ.
I'm at 30 movies for my 31 Halloween movies, so I got one more to watch and I am complete, which I definitely have burned myself out on Halloween movies, where I'm like, all right, after this week I'm done, man. Like I can't. But
switching to Christmas movies. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, not yet. I can't stand Christmas, so
I know you're a big Christmas fan.
So I finally watched Saw X.
Oh, nice.
It's very good.
I heard it was good. I was actually, right before we went on, I was listening to the Weekly Planet, and they were talking about Saw X and how good it was.
Yeah, so it takes place between Saw 2 and Saw 3. It's a very solid Saw sequel. It's probably the best sequel since the early days of Saw. So if you're into the Saw movies, like definitely this is a must-see Saw movie. It's probably got the best storyline, like actual story to the movie out of all the movies. Like,
well, most of them aren't really based around story.
It's just
like the traps, right?
Gruesome, yeah. It's just like over the top like blood and gore and whatever. And like this movie does have traps, and there's definitely gore and shit in it. And there's definitely scenes where I'm like, I can't watch this because it's so gruesome that I'm like, oh my god. But the actual story to the movie is probably the best storyline out of all the Saw movies. Like it's really good. You have a really weird relationship with your children there, Neil.
I like it, Neil. I like it. Neil says my kids wanted to watch Five Nights at Freddy, but I said, how about Freddy Got Fingered instead? Isn't that with like fucking
Tom Green?
Tom Green.
Daddy, do you want some sausage?
Daddy, do you want some sausage?
I heard that Five Nights at Freddy movie is like abysmally bad. So I wouldn't.
That's actually the thing they're reviewing after Saw X, but I only got up to Saw X before we had to come live, so I'll listen
The
to
reviews
that.
I saw of it was like, this is atrocious. Don't even waste your time. Like, so
that's funny.
But yeah, Saw X, very good. Then
nice. I'm glad you saw it.
The Exorcist Believer.
The new one?
Yes.
Oh, you saw it. It's pretty trash.
Not good. Not good. It was on Peacock Premium, so they did watch it. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years, so I don't know. I remember it not being very good, but Freddy Got Fingered. I mean, not Five Nights at Freddy, but
yes, you watched it on the cock.
Yeah. I don't even think we get Peacock in Canada, so
we don't.
It's not for adults at all. Kids liked it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Exorcist Believer, not a good movie. I don't think it deserved to be made. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I love the creepiness of possession movies, but the storyline's not very good. There's a lot of like moments within the movie where I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, it tried PG-13 rating also. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy. Oh, okay.
Is the SoCal Paint that says PG-13 rating? Is that for Five Nights, or is that
I don't know,
or is that for no? Saw's got to be rated R.
Saw is definitely rated R.
Yeah.
Exorcist Believer, I think, might have been 14A. I don't think it was rated R. I don't know.
Oh, really? Well,
Canada has different rating system than the US. So
yes, we do.
But yeah, no, it's not a great movie. I would give it like a 2 out of 5. Like, it's not great. It's not. The kids do a decent job acting as like possessed kids and shit, and I think kids are always creepy when they're like possessed and doing creepy shit.
Yeah, totally.
But like, as a sequel to one of the best horror films ever made, like, this movie does not do it justice in any way. Like,
that's too bad.
Then I watched The Nun 2. It's fine. It's what you would expect out of like a Conjuring / Nun universe movie. It's solid. It's creepy. It's a nun, possessed nun. I don't know. And then I watched the first 6 Halloween movies.
Didn't you already watch those?
No, I watched Nightmare and Friday the 13th.
Oh, right.
So out of the first 6 Halloween movies, I mean, honestly, the only good one is the first Halloween movie. Like, 2 has moments of interesting shit. 3 is just batshit weird. Nothing to do with Michael Myers. If people haven't seen it, it's about masks, Halloween masks, and like this weird, I don't know, it's fucking weird as shit. I don't recommend it. It's not very good. It doesn't make much sense. Halloween 4 brought back Michael Myers, and it's fine. Halloween 5 and Halloween 6 are not good movies. Like, they're pretty boring for the most part. I still am I'll probably watch Halloween H2O and Halloween 8 to finish off Halloween movies, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm burnt out on Halloween shit.
Time to move on.
30 movies in 31 days is just it's a lot. I started watching an older series called Strain. You guys ever watch it? No, I have not.
That's what Neil said.
It sounds familiar. Like, I feel like I've seen like the poster for it or something, but I have not watched it. No.
I just think of the movie poster would be like the strainer in your sink, and it's like filled with like old spaghetti noodles and like broccoli bits and shit like that.
I don't like that. I also want to shout out South Park.
Okay, thanks. Holla.
South Park Into the Panderverse, the new South Park special that just came out yesterday, I believe.
Is it just an episode, or is it like
it's 45 minutes?
Okay.
It's like 2 episodes, basically. It's very good. It's very, very funny for people that like South Park and are familiar with what's going on with the MCU and multiverse shit and all that stuff. It just like rips it apart, and it's very funny. So I highly recommend that. Still watching Welcome to Wrexham. Still watching Shorzy finished season 2, 6-episode season. It's solid. And I watched this South Korean reality show called The Devil's Plan on Netflix. It's like, I don't know, it's like a bunch of puzzles of people living in a house and they have to do a bunch of puzzles. It's kind of similar to what they did with what's that other Korean show that everybody loved?
Oh,
fuck, I can't remember. It's similar to that. Like they clearly were trying to get the vibe off that and capitalize on that show, but it's different. It's
I know what
interesting.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just can't think of it.
I can't think of it either, but it's coming back as a reality show in like November.
Nice.
The fuck. I can't think of it. Anyway, that's everything. And then let's get into Gen V.
Let's get into Gen V. This week's episode of Gen V is brought to you by
Matthew. He brought it for you, and we're gonna spoil this. So
prove me, baby.
Spoilers.
Oh, nice. Did you watch? Oh, Neil said, "Did you watch?"
I did. I watched it last week.
You did. Yeah,
it's very good. Very good.
Neil said he watched it all in one day. So fucking
I pretty much did too. I watched it.
Squid Games. That's what it was.
Yeah. So there's a Squid Game reality show coming out. But yeah, if you like Squid Game, this is called The Devil's Plan. It's on Netflix as well. It's I think 8 episodes or something like that. Maybe more. I don't remember. 10 episodes. I don't know. But it's kind of similar. They're playing like similar games against each other. It's not as like violent or brutal or anything like that. People just get eliminated. It's a reality show. It's not like like an actual show. It's
they don't get like shot in the shoulder.
No,
they just get eliminated.
But the reality show like is actually interesting. Like they play that beginning game of like red light, green light or whatever, where the guys get shot, but they actually get shot in the reality show too. It's just with paintballs. And I'm like, this is interesting. I like this. I'll watch this. Apparently the like actual filming of the show was like brutal. Like apparently people got like severely injured on the show and like yeah, I guess like it was like very notoriously like badly handled, so it got delayed a bunch because they had to like cut around it, I guess.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no good.
Yeah. So what do you think of Gen V?
I liked it. Yeah, so this is the second last episode of the season, and yeah, I thought it was really good. We got to kind of find out more motives of or kind of more about like what the hell is happening with the doctor and the woods and all that stuff, and more about Kate and her powers and how she's been using them with everyone. And I loved it. I was so eager to watch it on Thursday night.
I watched it after football, but yeah, it was a very solid episode. I'm excited to see what the finale brings because I think it's going to be pretty violent.
I also think it's going to be pretty violent. Are we getting the feeling that Sam's going to kind of do his own thing here? And
I think he's going to kind of lose his mind a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah.
Be seeing some puppets.
Yeah, I think there'll be a massive puppet like execution style. In the next episode, but yeah, Sam seems to be clearly like slowly sliding off his rocker, and I don't know who to trust in the show, and I like that. Like I feel like everybody's got their kind of like own agenda going on at this point of the season, and like I don't know who's on the right side of things, and I feel like the next episode, like definitely I have a feeling Homelander is going to be involved at some point, just because it seems like now that this virus is going to somewhat be proliferated in some way, that like you're going to see some massive like soups coming in, and you'll probably
some big names.
Yeah, you'll probably see some of the boys actually come into it to try to like, all right, we need this to kill the soups. Like,
right.
I assume that's going to set up the next season of the boys. That's what it's going to be about, is them fighting for this virus. But
yeah. That would be cool. That would be very cool, actually.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. I thought it was funny.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I liked it. I just love those characters so much. Like,
yeah, same.
They're just great. I like the main. I always forget the main girl's name, but and then I love Cricket. Like, I think she's so funny. Her and Sam are great together. Like, they're such a good. But I definitely think that shit's going down with Sam. I think.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing about when he went to that, like, you know, whatever, it's not a protest, but it was like a Q&A thing about like with that
holding soups down.
Like, yeah. And he's just like, oh, we shouldn't be like that. You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah, you see, he's being like radicalized basically, and like
yeah.
I have a feeling that Cricket's going to get in the crossfire here and probably die in the finale. I don't know. I just have that feeling.
I hope not.
I like her character a lot, and I think the actress is doing a really good job with it. But I also I like all the characters. Like I think they all have like their interesting aspects, and they all have like their shitty aspects. And I'm like, this is how you write like interesting characters. Is like you can relate to certain aspects of them, but you also am like rooting for them and rooting against them, and like I don't know. It's multi-layered character development, which is always I think super interesting. And Neil's saying here, you'll see you see the guy that makes the boys have a 5-season plan, but now with the success of Gen V, he wants to make it longer. Yeah. So the rumor is now they're just gonna that they're gonna shift back and forth every season. Is it like there'll be a season of the boys, and there'll be a season of Gen V, and then the Gen V will feed into the boys, and then the boys will feed into the
if it's good, I'll watch it. But the problem with that is when you lose the focus of what something's supposed to be and try to fit something into make it work, it usually doesn't. Like if you're going to keep doing Gen V, then it's obviously going to have to be about the school or something like the school or something, if it's not the same characters even. But it's like I even use like Only Murders in the Building, where it's like first season was amazing, second season was basically just the first season again, and then when it's like, oh, we can't just do that again for the third season, they change it. I'm like, this fucking sucks. It's like it's not good.
Yeah, well, that's I think the problem with any show really is like you run out of narrative, you run out of ideas of what you want to do, and like I'll always reference Lost as like the creator of Lost wanted it to be like 3 seasons, and the network was like, no, we want this to go 10 seasons, and they settled on 6, and like you could tell that they were just making up shit as they went along at some point because they didn't have any way to extend the length of it, and we don't want that for the boys.
There's no more story to tell.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I should have said this at the beginning, but like, rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Oh yeah, that fucking sucks, man.
Fucking sucks. I love Matthew Perry.
54?
Yeah. I mean, it's sad as fuck. And I mean,
I'm not a Friends fan, but I
love Friends.
I know you do, but I still think that is. I read that he had a heart attack in his hot tub or something, right?
That's what's coming out right now.
I
don't know if like they say they want to investigate it further, but the rumor is that it wasn't a drug issue or anything like that. That he had a heart attack in his hot tub.
Yeah, because he used to have some pretty serious drug. He was in rehab and shit, wasn't he?
Like 7 times, 8 times. So.
Yeah.
He was at one point taking like 54 painkillers a day. Like he had a massive painkiller addiction, and he also had a massive drinking problem, and they would kind of interchange. He almost died like 5 years ago. He had like some kind of like bowel obstruction or something like that, and his bowels exploded inside his body. And so he had to have like some kind of surgery or something on that. And I guess at the time the doctors were like, there's like a 4% chance that you're going to make it out of this alive.
Damn. And then he
did. And then this kills him. But like people with like heart issues and stuff like that, you shouldn't be in a hot tub. So
yeah, true that.
That's not a great plan. Not that he deserves to die for it or anything like that, but he seems like he had his life back together. So I'm hoping that like it wasn't a drug thing. Like I hope he wasn't like, hey, I'm off the rocker again, and then he died from it. Like, oh, that's even sadder.
That would be sad.
But yeah, rest in peace, Matthew Perry. But what I was going to say is that made me think of Friends. Is like at 10 seasons they ended Friends because they like, yeah, we could have dragged it out more and we could have done another 5 seasons, but like there was no more story to tell. We took these characters as far as we could take these characters. There's no reason to keep going. And it's like even in Matthew Perry's book, his memoir that came out last year, that was actually worth a read if you're interested. He basically says, he's like, we're making $1 million an episode, and yeah, looking back on that, it's like, you're an idiot. Why didn't you do 15 seasons of the show and just make an insane amount of money? But he's like, we love the characters so much that like we didn't want to ruin the show. We didn't want to extend it just for extending sake. And like I always worry about the shows I love going like, yeah, we're gonna do 10 seasons now, and like the last 4 seasons you're like, this is trash, man. Like, what are you doing? Like Walking Dead was another show that was like, you did this way too long. This should have ended 6 seasons ago.
Yep. Yeah. You know, that's what the general consensus is around that one. So Town Pain Up says all that takes effect onto one's heart, sadly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm sure he had massive heart issues. Like,
yeah.
He gained in Lost weight so many times that's really
that,
tough on your heart. If you watch certain seasons of Friends, you'll see him like super skinny, and then the next season he'll be really fat, and that was because he was on and
of
off
his drugs, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that being a point of discussion.
Yeah, I think it was like
happening.
season 5 or season 6. He was down to like 148 pounds, and then the next season he ballooned up to like he looks fat in that season. No offense, and it's like it's scary. Boys have barely touched much content from the comic, so I feel like they have a ton more story to tell, and the comic ran over 60 issues, says Neil. That's good. I mean, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know where it's going, but like if they have barely touched the comics and the comics stay good throughout the comics, and that's a good sign that the show could go on another 4 or 5 seasons or whatever.
Totally.
But
yeah,
you also run the risk of like actors getting too famous for the roles and wanting to drop out, and like so you gotta be scared of that, because you're definitely gonna have some of the actors from the show want to move on or want to make a shit ton more money, and it's going to depend on what Amazon's willing to pay and who you kill off, who stays alive, and so on and so forth. So it's interesting. Like, I don't know. It's always scary when you see a big name get casted in something, because then you're like, oh, fuck, they're going to leave the show they're doing.
There's
like,
only longevity, right?
Right. And that's what happened with Friends too, is like all these people wanted to move on to acting roles in movies and everything like that, like Jennifer Aniston and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's a problem as the show gets more and more famous. These actors want to move on. They don't want to play the same character for 10 years.
Yep. It's so true.
But yeah, I hope the show stays good, and like if they can do 10 seasons and it's all good, then sweet.
Yep.
I'm fine with it. I love the show, so
yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving Gen V. I'm super excited for next week's episode. I can't wait to see how they wrap it up and how they leave it hanging for the boys. So
it sounds like the boys is going to come out early next year, as long as the actor strike is done.
I heard today that the actor strike, basically, if they don't resolve it by next week, then they're just going to put it on hold till next year. So
yeah, I saw the same article. It sounds like they got about a week or two, at least before Thanksgiving. If they can't solve it by American Thanksgiving, then it's toast.
It's done.
So I don't know. I'm always going to be on the side of people making the money they deserve. So if the strike goes on, then it goes on.
Yep, I agree. They need to fight for what they deserve.
Totally. Loki.
I like Gen V. I like Loki. I did like Loki too, but I like Gen V way more. Man, I was talking to my friend today about Loki, and like honestly, I just don't care.
But
okay. I know it was cool how it ended. I know.
That's what I want to get into, because
there's ramifications of what is to come.
This could finally be cool.
Yes, it could.
It could also be nothing.
But I also don't fucking care. I just don't care.
But you'll care if it's cool.
Maybe.
Like if okay, we'll just dive into Loki. Gen V's great. I can't wait for the finale.
Gen V's great.
Yeah.
You talk about Loki first.
Well, I like this episode. I think I didn't expect how it ended. Like, I definitely didn't see that coming. I didn't see they basically lose. Like, I mean, the whole aspect of these first 4 episodes is them trying to get the whatever the fuck it's called, the doodad, the loom. I call it the doodad that ties all the different reality strands together, timelines, all the different timelines together. It basically is like a rope that ties them all together and holds them together, and it's expanding and expanding and expanding, and it's about to break. And so they're trying to create this like device that expands the rope that's holding it together. And so the whole thing has been them getting a version of
He Who
Remains, called Victor Timely, who created see, that's the confusing part of time travel, is like he created the loom, but he didn't create the loom, because the only reason he created the loom was because he had a book from the TVA, but the book from the TVA wouldn't have existed without him. Like, I don't know, it's all a fucking confusing mess. But yeah, they lose. The thing explodes and it just fades to black at the end of the episode, and we don't know.
And Victor Timely turns into spaghetti.
Yeah, Victor Timely gets killed, and yeah, the thing explodes and it goes to black. We don't know if they all die. We don't know if the TVA exists. We don't know what timeline's left. South Time Pain Apps with the hot goss.
It's dropping tea.
From what I read in an article, there was a reason some people got early access to the first 4 episodes only, because Feige said that episode 5 will blow our minds, which after episode 4, I'm like, holy crap. That's exciting. I really think this is their opportunity to do something very cool. And like, I also think it wouldn't surprise me if they do it in this show, just because they introduced fucking Kang in the show. And I'm like, they're not obviously not afraid to introduce huge ramifications for the entire phase in a show. So this could be like the massive shift in this whole phase of like,
or they could revert it back at the end of the season too.
Sure, but like the fact that this could wipe out all the timelines and or merge them all together into one timeline, and this is how we get X-Men, or this is how we get whatever. I saw another thing that said they already have a plan in place for moving on from Kang because of all his fucking legal troubles and shit. So that is part of the reason why Ravonna is being introduced the way she is.
She obviously is a variant of
Kang.
He Who Remains. Yeah, like
yeah.
I feel like that is just a given at this point. Like they're walking around it like that might not be the case, but like I feel like it is definitely the case.
Well, I feel that they showed their cards with the with Loki.
Neil says he who won't remain if he loses in court next month.
Very true, very true. I feel like they showed their cards with Loki and having his female variant, right? Like that's a possibility. So why wouldn't she be a female variant of Kang?
It would make sense too, right?
I guess in the comics, like they're romantically involved throughout time. Like she is a character in the comics, and like they have like a love relationship throughout time. I mean,
Loki and Sylvie kind of do too, or did last season. So I mean, that's not too far off the course of the beaten path. Like that's pretty normal for this show, right?
So. Yeah, totally. That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like they kind of foreshadowed that she's a variant of Kang, but I mean, who knows? Maybe that's not the case, but it definitely seems like they can go in that direction of like she's going to take over and that's going to be the new face of like Kang, basically. Or I saw a rumor that they're basically using this to set up Fantastic Four, and that Fantastic Four will be set in a different timeline that has no superheroes. It's just the Fantastic Four. They're the only superheroes in their universe, and Galactus comes in and destroys that timeline, and they get shifted into the TVA, and the TVA puts them into our universe. Basically, they like inject them into our timeline, and that's how we get Fantastic Four. And that it's already casted, and they're just waiting till the strike's over to announce the cast. But from what I saw, it's fucking Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be the main. What's that?
Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah. That he's Mysterio in our universe, but he's Mr. Fantastic in the other timeline.
Interesting.
And that the guy that played Eddie Munster, or Eddie, whatever the fuck the guy's name was in Stranger Things.
Human Torch, right? I think I remember hearing that.
Human Torch. And the blonde chick that's kind of the villain in the recent Mission Impossible movies is going to be Invisible Woman.
Nice. And then Thing is not around, or
Thing is, I can't remember who the fuck they casted for it. I saw the casting rumor.
Played by a corgi of the director.
That'd be great. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody I recognized from a couple things, but I can't pull it off the top of my head. But yeah, I thought that Jake Gyllenhaal was interesting. Just as of like a variant thing, but like clearly they could definitely be setting up the X-Men aspect of this too, with the timeline merging and all that shit. So it could set up like Deadpool 3 or something along that lines too. But
could you imagine if we got a Deadpool cameo at the end of this, or like an after credit thing,
or Wolverine?
I heard there's a rumor going around that Kelsey Grammer's Beast shows up, and like he's like, it's about like he catches wind of like the timelines all clashing or coming together or something like that. So that'd be sick. Yeah.
Well, yeah. the TVA is supposed to have a major role in Deadpool 3.
Yes, yeah.
So it sounds like the TVA is going to have a major role throughout the next like series of films. Like it sounds like Deadpool 3 and Fantastic Four are all going to revolve around the TVA.
Honestly, I hope they can get me back, because I just like, I did like this week. Again, I say this every week since we've been watching it. I still enjoy the episodes when I watch them.
Yeah, same.
I just fucking don't care. Like, I'm just so over this goddamn multiverse shit.
And that's why you'll love that South Park episode.
Good.
I just wish they bring in more characters in the series. So many amazing Marvel characters, yet keep stuffing same ones down our throats. Yeah, I mean,
don't worry, they'll give us stuff that we really want, like fucking Echo and.
Well, that's the problem, right? Is like
Ironheart.
There's so many characters that we want, and they keep shoving stuff we don't want down our throats. But they also have to be worried about diversifying too much, because then we're only going to get like a sequel to like X-Men every 6 years, because they're going to have so much to keep up with. Like, they definitely are running the risk of like putting too much into it. So I hope that like if they're closing the multiverse angle and like they're all merging into one, is that we lose a shit ton of these characters. Like that'd be great. Let's blame Chapek for that. Yeah, well, he's gone now, so let's hope that they're rectifying the situation. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I hope episode 5 is like mind blowing. Like that, I would love for the MCU to fucking hook me again. It would be amazing. And I would love too if Galactus is the actual big bad and like Kang has just been like a front for the entire time. Like that'd be great.
That would be cool. I could see that. Galactus would be fun.
Totally.
An imposing villain.
Yeah, well, the rumor is that's the villain of Fantastic Four. So like maybe we won't find out about that until like 2025. But I feel like you might see some like teases of like Galactus being involved somehow or something like that. Kind of what they did with fucking what's his face from Phase 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Thanos. But yeah, I don't know. I like the episode. I thought it was a solid episode, and like it finally got me like, fuck, they could be doing something really cool. Please be doing something really cool. Please don't like let me down.
It's gonna be the equivalent of getting a piece of pie, Ryan.
Well, this is what I'm worried about. Is like they set this up and they think it's a fucking home run, and then we get it, and we're like, fuck, they're just doing the same shit, you know. And then it's just a huge letdown. So
we'll see. I've learned to not get too excited about MCU stuff, because I feel like they don't take advantage of the fucking heat when they have it.
Yeah, I agree totally. But
old MCU did, but I don't feel like new MCU does.
So will Avengers Kang Dynasty need to be replaced if they do replace Majors or just recast him? I think they'll just go with Ravonna. Honestly, I think if especially if he's like put in prison or whatever, then like or gets found guilty, whatever the case may be.
The variants just look like her now instead of him.
I think they'll just go with her as the face of Kang, and they'll explain it in some storyline or whatever. But like, I think they'll just shift it that way, and I think that's kind of why they're setting it up that way, is just in case. But they could recast him. You know, you can. I mean, they did it with a couple characters in the MCU, so that wouldn't be surprising.
Sure, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I hate recasts, so I would prefer them to just shift the storyline. But
a recast doesn't bother me too much unless it's like really like I feel like Harrison Ford being replacing William Hurt. I know that, I understand the circumstance, so I get it, but also I'm like, I feel like that's a really big shift. Like I feel like it's a very different person to play that character. So
well, I just don't know why you have to make it William or
yeah, it could be anybody else, right?
Just make it a different general and just be like, you know, he died in the battle or whatever. Like
it's kind of important, like that his character is kind of like Ross is important because of who he is and his relationship to Hulk. And
I get that,
but I get what you're saying. You could find a way.
Just shift it, man. Like you don't have to make it the same character. I'd allow Pedro Pascal to take the role over. That's it. Yeah, we need more roles for Pedro Pascal. He's not doing enough.
Yeah, he has nothing to do.
He's too bored. Yeah, but I also saw a couple things that sounds like they're canceling some of these shows. Like it sounds like Echo might not even need to see the light of day at all.
What? Echo?
Echo, yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't be against that. Honestly, I'm already dreading the fact that I'm gonna have to watch it, so I'm totally okay with them getting.
I also saw that the Daredevil thing, they found a new showrunner, but it sounds like that show is not going to be ready till like 2025 now, at least.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
So that's going to get heavily pushed, and that what was the other show? Ironheart had to go through a complete rewrite. They just didn't notify anybody about it because it's so far away, and that the reason Agatha, whatever they're fucking calling the Agatha show now, because they've changed the title 3 times, is the reason it's changed titles 3 times is because it's gotten rewritten 3 times.
Oh, interesting.
That it's going through massive rewrites as well because it's not good. But
it sounds very promising.
Yeah, it sounds like basically when Bob Iger stepped in,
just cancel it.
Yeah, well, I agree.
No one asked for an Agatha movie. No one asked for that.
No, but it sounds like when Bob Iger came in, he reviewed all these shows and was like, "Yeah, that's not good. We're not putting that out." Like, it sounds like the quality standpoint of like him coming in and saying like, "We're not fucking watering this down to garbage. Like, we're actually putting out good content again." It sounds like that's his like main priority, and from what I read, it was like that means it's gonna be 3 times better, right? Yeah, God willing. Hey, rewrites can be good. I mean, who knows? It sounds like the Daredevil rewrite is greatly needed, and like if they put out a bad Daredevil show, I would have been so disappointed. So, I think it's one of the writers from the Punisher show is taking over,
and then the director from Loki, right?
Yeah. So that's a good sign because Punisher was very violent.
Yes, it was.
So hopefully they bring some of that into the world.
Yeah, I feel like they're hoping to make Daredevil a PG-friendly character, though. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that changes too.
I hope so. I don't know how you do a good Deadpool movie or a good Wolverine movie without violence. I'm sorry, but they're violent characters.
I think that will be. Well, I mean, yeah. I was just gonna say they've done Wolverine movies without violence, but they weren't bad. Good.
Yeah, the best Wolverine movie is Logan.
It was the violent one. Yeah, yeah, true. I don't even like Logan that much, but I think it's for sure the best portrayal of Wolverine by a long shot.
Absolutely. And it's not Hugh Jackman's fault. Like I think Hugh Jackman does his
best. Jackman's the best thing about
Yeah.
All the Wolverines in all the movies.
He's perfect for the role. It's just the actual scripts for those movies were just abysmally bad.
Even though originally I didn't like him because he was tall. That was my reason for not liking him.
Yeah, it should have been shorter, yeah. But what are you going to do?
Should have cut his knees off. That's what I think.
Yeah, we could have just de-limbed him.
Yeah, but you know, you win some,
you lose some. Yeah, it's true.
It'd be under 5 feet, so
totally. But yeah, so that's got me hyped for MCU. I like if this episode lets me down, then I'm gonna be a sad boy. But we'll find out next week.
Yes, we will. Yeah, I didn't mind the episode. It was whatever. Again, I really love OB. I think OB is still the standout star for this series,
season,
and like
sure.
Again, I like the interaction between him and Victor, and them realizing that they were to each other who
biggest fans.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, the time loop aspect is confusing, but it makes for some good comedic banter, you know.
Totally. Also, the that scene where Miss Minutes kills all those Minutemen. Yeah. Oh my god, dude, that's fucking crazy.
I wish they would have shown it though.
I know, but I understand why they didn't.
I wanted a big box of gore.
Like if you listen to it like kind of like closely, like you can actually hear and you can hear like the blood dripping out onto the floor too. It's like, oh dude, she fucking like juiced these humans basically.
Yeah.
She fucking put them in a box and squished them out until their blood all dripped
out.
But
when was it Mobius that walks into the room, or it was the woman cop there
or whatever her name is, or
I wanted them to show it. Like I wanted her to see the horror on her face, and then the camera to pan and just see this like box of horror.
That would have been cool.
And I'm like,
but even the fact that Miss Minutes was like loving it, like she's just like.
I love psycho AI. Like that's always a fun gimmick in a movie or a show. And I'm like, Miss Minutes going off her rocker and just like destroying people. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like if she's the only survivor of this like explosion because she's not real and she's just like an AI thing. Like that'd be cool. I'd be into that.
The next 3 episodes are just
2 episodes.
or whatever. The next 2 episodes are just like black air. It's like nothing. It's just.
Well, they replaced Loki's
Instagram
page with error.
Yeah, with the Miss Minutes error that was coming up on the Tempad, right?
Yeah. So that's great. And imagine, I just thought of this now, but imagine
getting way more excited for all of this stuff, and I'm not. That's the part that bums me out.
Imagine Miss Minutes is the big bad, and it's not Kang. She just takes over
this giant clock, and she's just smiling and glowing orange.
She's just a psycho AI, and she's basically Ultron, but a giant clock.
Imagine Ultron came back and had to fight her. Imagine this was all Ultron.
Imagine. Remember?
I remember.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of cool things they could do, and I hope they do one of them. Just do one of them. Just make it cool again.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. This is your chance to not fuck it up.
Yep. Show everybody that you're here and you're gonna fucking nail it. But...
Yeah. Well, I have a little bit of faith left, like that much faith. And if they don't nail this,
just a touch.
If they don't nail this, then my faith will be gone. And we're like 2 weeks away or whatever from the Marvels, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe this sets up the Marvels in some way too. Ties into both. Who knows? But yeah, that's it for this episode. We're gonna go and we're gonna end this shit. And fucking next week we'll be talking the finale of The Boys and Loki 5, and I'm sure a boatload of Batman because now we're in the Batman zone.
Yep.
So I'll probably rewatch Batman Begins this week, probably.
Nice. I don't know how much I'll be able to watch this week, but I'll probably at least try to get the Batman Returns. I was gonna try to watch it tomorrow, but because I didn't really get anything done today other than the work outside, I might not be able to, but we'll see.
Sure. I gotta go back to work, so fuck me, right?
Fuck you.
Fucking hate my life. God damn it. My bike's still not working. Fucking annoying as shit.
That sucks.
My ribs still fucking sore.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you about that.
No. Episode 6 will show that Joe Rogan is the real body of the TVA. He'll do his best to remove the Moose Smoke podcast. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Fuck Joe Rogan. He can't touch us.
He can't stop us now.
We're too big. We're too powerful.
Yep, it's true. We're like Miss Minutes.
Yeah. We should make Matt in the next episode of Miss Minutes. Just have like a overlay.
I can put on me. Yeah.
A voice changer and an overlay.
Yeah, it has antlers though, like the moose milk.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Oh, that would be great. We could make Moose Milk Miss Minutes. If we only had money and could fly on private jets and do things.
Moose Minutes.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm in. If anybody wants to Photoshop that, do it for me.
Yeah, I agree. We don't have the skills to do it ourselves, so sorry.
No, we have no skills.
We're out of skills.
We're out of skills. The only skill I have is sitting on a couch. I'm really good at that. Yeah. So that's the end of the episode. We appreciate everybody checking us out. If you're not already following us, please head over to Instagram, head over to our YouTube channels, go to your podcast service, subscribe. You can follow us at Moose Milk Media and at Customs by Matthew. We're available everywhere you can get your podcasts.
What he said.
Southtown Paint Apps. Good night, y'all. And please hit that like button. Thank you. I appreciate you. Peace to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Have a great week. Follow us. Please, we need the likes, we need the subscriptions, we need the expansion of our followers. Go over to our YouTube channels. Matt will be back one day doing studio shit, but it's still going to be a little bit.
But maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe you'll get one special episode this year where he's hot, naked in his new studio.
With a Santa hat on.
I hope so.
I'm probably going to make a shit ton of content. Not make a shit ton, but I'm probably going to make and film stuff for content and then put it all out next year. But
great.
We'll see.
Maybe like a nude cooking show.
Yeah.
Where you're just barbecuing in your studio.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to tenderize it by beating my penis against it. And just,
God, it's gonna be like, that's where OnlyFans needs to go. I don't know what the show is anymore. All right.
The best.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye.